It seems to me that some believers struggle with Revelation, especially this passage here in Revelation 20, where it talks about the great white throne judgment. But believers need to remember that this judgment is not for them. This judgment is only for unbelievers, and that's why they are being judged according to their works, because that's exactly what unbelievers want, and God is giving them exactly what they want. Let's read here. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. Now notice this. It says the books, plural, were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. Now, this is making a distinction between the books, plural, and the other book, which is the book of life, where believers all are in. All who have believed the gospel are in the book of life. But in the other books, that's where the unbelievers are. And that's where it's written what they have done, their works. And that's what they'll be judged by. And let's keep reading. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. As I said, this is what they want. This is what God gives them. Because they think their works are good enough. That's the whole point of it. They don't realize that their works were never and will never be good enough to save them. They don't realize how sinful they really are and how needful they really are of God's divine blood to pay for their sins. Those who believe the gospel realize how sinful they are, how much they have sinned, how badly they have sinned. They are like Paul, "O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death?" They're like Peter. Peter said to Jesus, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man." But let's keep reading. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So you're either written in the book of life or in the other books. If you're written in the other books, you're gonna be judged according to your works. And if you believe the gospel, you're in the book of life, and you're not going to be judged according to your works. In fact, you're going to be pretty much not really judged, maybe judged in a way, but your righteousness will be the blood of Christ, and that is more than enough. So you don't have to worry about this great white throne judgment as a believer. If you believe the gospel, this is nothing to worry about. And I think it's worth mentioning here in verse 14, where it says, "Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire." This is the second death. You know, it seems like a lot of people think that hell and the lake of fire are the exact same thing. But this verse makes it rather clear, that they're not the exact same thing. And it makes it very clear that both death and hell are cast into this lake of fire. And that this is the second death, which is interesting, Could this mean that hell is not eternal? Maybe so. It could be. It could mean that perhaps some unbelievers are in hell. In, I think it's Gehenna, the word, or is it Abaddon? Let's check actually. Will it let me? Because I'm screen recording. Oh yeah. Here. Oh, Hades. Okay, Hades is the word. Okay. The grave, death, hell. Okay. It's interesting. I haven't really done a deep study on the original meanings, but it would be interesting to go into that stuff sometime. Not that I'm like just dying to do this, but it would be interesting sometime. But there's different definitions here. Interesting. The grave, death, hell, the netherworld, the realm of the dead, Hades or Pluto, the god of the lower regions. Interesting. But anyway, just some food for thought